everyone, this is Charmaine from Fantastic Crafts. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we're going to be creating this really pretty card with a unique technique. Now I will say I saw Jennifer McGuire do this or use this technique, and I was blown away by how simple it is, but what a unique texture and unique kind of background it can create. So I wanted to recreate it, and so here we go. So to begin, I use the Stampin' Up! Tree Ring stamp set as a background stamp set, and I also use the Sweet Plum, Perfect Plum, Rich Razzleberry, and also Melon Mambo, all Stampin' Up! Inks, and I've been loving the Stampin' Up! Inks right now, so you'll see me using a lot of it. So to begin, I cut a Nina cardstock at 6x6, and this is so I can evenly make pretty much a a cross. So I have 4 sections to create this look. You'll see it in just a sec. I probably didn't explain that too well, but okay. So I go to the 3-inch side and I make a mark at the top and the bottom, and I do that on 2 of the sides. And then I have my top and bottom lined up, and I just use that Cricut Trimmer's ruler part to just make a straight line. And once you do that on both the sides, you see that you created this like a 4 square. So once you have that, now you can begin your fun part, which I think is a fun part. Now you can start inking the background. Once you have that square section, like the top section, quarter of that inked up, then you can start putting your paper down. To put your paper down, what you're going to do, and I did mess this up a few times, so you'll see me, this is the time I did not mess up. You want to line up that top line to your top of the stamp, and then that side line on the side of your stamp, and you can see how I'm doing that, and I will show a few more times. Actually, I'll show all 4 times just so you can see how I'm doing it. And this is the part I did mess up before, so I wanted to show this a few different times so you can get it. I saw Jennifer McGuire do it, but it still didn't come to me until I personally had to do it and recreate it. So I'm sure that's going to be the same thing for all of you. So I used my second color. I did a different color for each quarter of my square, each square. And again, I lined that top line up and then the bottom. And the lines you are not going to see because they are on the back of your design. So it's very clever. This technique is very, very clever, and I loved recreating it. Look how cool that looks. And you can use any kind of background. I do go with a baby wipe and just kind of clean that color off in between, just so I don't cross-contaminate the colors. And once I can see how I was going to do it the wrong way, and then I corrected myself. What I do is the top line goes on that top, matches with that top, and then the line on the side matches with the side of the stamp. And then once again, I just take a scrap piece of paper and just press that down so I can get a nice impression onto my little quarter. This, I just think, is so cool how perfectly it lines up. And then the last color is the Melon Mambo, and I love this color. It is one of my favorite colors, and I love this. Once again, I did that same exact thing. I lined it up on both corners, the top and the side, and I went with my scrap piece of paper and just pressed it down until the impression was transferred nicely onto my background paper, which it doesn't take too long. But look how cool that looks. It's so neat. And I mean, I don't have too many background stamps, so I couldn't do different kinds. But if you have a lot of different background stamps, I mean, think about the possibility of creating different cards with this technique. I just think it's going to be, you guys are just going to blow this out of the park. It's going to be amazing. I know it. So then I wanted to make an A2 size card. And by the way, I am keeping all the scraps because I'm going to make other cards with it. But so what I did is I just kind of trimmed on both sides into like a little less than 1/8 less than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So then it would have this little tiny little border around my card. To give this card a more finished look, of course, I did what I always do, which is go ahead and ink the edges. And I used one of the purples to do that, the darker one, just because I thought it would actually, I don't think you could go wrong with any of the colors if you just do the inking of the edges. It just, any color would look awesome with it. So I did that, and I knew I wanted my cardstock or card base to be a purple because I really thought it would pop with that. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can have a black, you can have a white, whichever you think, or depending on your colors. So I just went with the blue because I really wanted to have it a little bit more coordinating. So I used my art glitter glue, and I just simply put the glue onto the back part of my cardstock or my background that I created, and then just simply glued that onto my cardstock base. I then took that same stamp set, The Sky is the Limit, and I stamped out my sentiment, The Sky is the Limit, and I also trimmed it out. I used the Stampin' Up! Ink, just kind of coordinating it with all my background paper. And then I just simply trimmed that out just to be a little smaller. Ideally, I would have liked the sentiment to be really thin, or maybe put it in maybe a black background with white pigment ink, but it still came out really cute. So, there are options. You don't have to always do it one particular way. So I think I am going to be making a few more of these cards using the same background technique, but making it a little different by using different sentiments or sentiments in different colors or different backgrounds. I did pop this sentiment up using the 3M pop-up squares, and then I just put it right on the middle of that card. Now you could put it wherever you like it. You can place it wherever you like it, but I just decided to stick with that. And that's my completed card. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I so appreciate your time. Until next time, guys. Bye.